there, this is Linda again, and I'm going to be making one of Sean T's recipes out of his T25 Get It Done Nutrition, which we've already loaded up on a PDF for you guys. And it's going to be using quinoa, which I have here already cooked in a bowl, and he also tells you exactly how to prepare that in this little recipe booklet that we have here. So that's going to be, and you can do that in the morning while you're getting ready for work. It takes about 15 minutes to do. It's simple, 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 and you can make a big bowl of it. It lasts for 3 or 4 days in the refrigerator, so you can use it as you know, a breakfast item, or heat it up, use it in replacement for rice, or any kinds of things like that. Also, normally what we're going to be doing, I'm showing you here, is some organic couscous, which normally we would use for a salad of this type. But since couscous is a wheat product, we've switched it out with quinoa, which is gluten-free, and that can be an issue with a lot of different people. So what I'm first going to do is chop up some vegetables. Now what I'm going to use here is leftover sweet potatoes that I roasted the other night, and we've already showed you how to do that. You've already seen that video on that. So I'm going to take these sweet potatoes and just kind of make them into more uniform pieces to put in the salad. Just, you know, kind of so they're not quite as big chunks to kind of overpower the size of the quinoa, because the quinoa is a little bit, you know, tinier also. So, okay. Doesn't have to be precise, but just so it's somewhat same shape. Sweet potatoes are really, really, really good for you too, and they add some protein and some color and some yumminess to this salad. And the reason we're doing a salad of this type is because you can make it the day before. It doesn't have to be refrigerated. You can take it and put it in a container and take it to work. And the flavor just improves as you go along. So we're just going to give these kind of a rough chop. It's not really too serious about how we're doing this, just so they're kind of more or less equal sizes. Okay. Then I'm going to add some celery for a little bit of crunch. Okay. And this is organic celery, because it's kind of important to have. Celery is kind of one of those vegetables that, for whatever reason, absorbs all the different kinds of chemicals that are placed on it. So we're using some organic celery here. I'm going to slice that up a little bit here. Okay. All right. Add in. Okay. And use a little bit of just some onion. Not too much, because I'm actually going to put some fresh chives in out of my garden, so I don't want too much onion in there. So I'm just going to chop that up a little bit. This is one of those salads that you can use all different kinds of flavor profiles on, as long as you have the quinoa already done up. I'm going to use some organic cucumber, just for a little color and a little more crunch. Okay. Making a bit of noise here, but okay. I think about a half of this is going to be enough. It's already looking kind of yummy and colorful. And I'm going to use some roasted red peppers that I had on hand, actually in a jar. You can use fresh, you can roast your own. I just didn't happen to have any fresh on hand. So I'm going to slice some of these up. It's also going to add a little bit more moisture to the salad too, and make it not quite, so you don't have to use quite as much dressing. You can make this salad and put the dressing on right away, but if you do that, the quinoa has a tendency to absorb all the dressing, and so you have to use more. So that's why we kind of did this quinoa earlier in the day and let it cool off a little bit. Fluffed it up with a fork. Okay. There we go. It's looking more colorful and pretty. move this out of the way. Step over here, get it out of my way. Wipe my hands. I also have some roasted cashews that I'm going to put in there, and I kind of like to put them and chop them up in use my plastic bag and just sort of stomp on them a little bit. It makes it kind of a fun way to do it. Get this out of your way also. So now I'm going to make a really quick vinaigrette dressing, okay? And I like to use the apple cider vinegar from Bragg's because it is organic and it's really, really good for you. It's got all the yummy stuff in the bottom, so have to shake it up a little bit. Use a little bit of that. Also going to add a little bit of balsamic vinegar. About equal amounts. Balsamic's kind of a real tangy flavor, so we like to kind of tamper that down, dampen it down a little bit. I'm also going to put just a little bit of mustard in there. It helps emulsify the oil. I'm going to use some nice olive oil. I always like a little more vinegar than oil, but you can adjust it the way you like it. Okay. Yeah. Some pepper. A little bit of salt. You can always adjust the seasonings. I didn't salt the quinoa when I made it, so it's always just a little bit more. Use that together. Kind of emulsify. This over here. This on. A good toss. I like to use kind of a fork because it tosses everything together. Whoops, somebody overboard. Getting back in there. Okay. As you can see, this makes a giant big bowl of yummy stuff. And you can add other seasoning profiles to it. I'm actually going to put some chopped herbs in here in just a couple minutes. I like